Hey everyone, this is Nitro. So Monday, new Nitro setup video, and I'm going to be covering everything about my party as usual. So let's begin with the, crystal update status and equipment farming results. So with regards to the crystal and voucher status, last week I started with 69 vouchers and 13,920 crystals. I currently have 67 vouchers and 14,242 crystals. This is actually a very minor increase, and the reason for that is because I used 10 vouchers on a 10 summon on the Leonhard and Rene banner. Accidental. And then I also did 2,150 crystals used this week on the Macho Lotto. So the actual increase in terms of vouchers and crystals was 8 new vouchers and 2,472 crystals. But but I used more than that of each. So that's why there is that difference. There's an actual drop in vouchers and a very small increase in crystals. But that's because I used some resources. So yeah, let's move on. Equipment farming results. Previous week, I got 10 SSRs from Joint Battles and Dragons. This week, there was just 7. Okay. In terms of new items, well, my monthly SSR accessory was a drop near. Very unfortunate. Another garbage item. Anarchy Lotto, I didn't get any SSR accessory, so nothing there. Memory Shard purchases, well, nothing so far. Well, there was some, okay. But sorry, I got some new memory shards, but I haven't used any of it yet. Okay. And for the Trails in Time events, so far I've gotten 3 of the 4 items. So, and they were all garbage. Well, I kept one of them though. Hydra's Bow, an Aeneas helmet, and a Cloak of Defiance, which raised my current Cloak of Defiance to level 40. Accessory, I still don't have access to, so I have not traded for that yet. Finally, in terms of the weekly items, well, Timeless Trial gave me an Angel's Feather this week. The Gambles of last week gave me 1 Blue Moon. Everything else was turned back into ore. And in terms of the Dragon farming results, the main one that I kept was another Blue Moon. So I got 2 Blue Moons in a row, which allows me to have my 6th level 50 Blue Moon. Everything else was ored, as I said. So the other items was a Tiara, Seal Guardian, Carbon Fiber Helmet, Aeneas Armor, Aeneas Helmet, and a Frost Rend. I also did 3 random accessory box purchases, didn't get an SSR there either. So kind of a dry week in terms of SSRs, unfortunately. Nonetheless, that's what happens, You can't get good SSRs every single week. Next then, I'll talk about my shard farming for the coming month. Okay, so this week I will finish up both Shafaniel and Wilder to 6 stars, and they're both going to be complete on Wednesday. So, and then on Thursday will be the new major update, and that banner should be Deedlit and Ashram. So I am absolutely going to draw on that banner with the 200 or 200 plus tickets that I will have, in hopes of getting at least 1 Deedlit. As soon as I get a Deedlit, I'm going to stop. I don't care if I get Ashram. So once I get Deedlit, I'm going to do 5 of our Gate of Fates right away, and then 2 Yusuke's. And in the last character that I'm trying to decide on, I haven't even finalized this decision yet, but currently I'm thinking Hiei, but it may be any of these characters I have listed here, right? Diharto, Listel, Angelina, Gizarov, Claret, or Hiei. The most unlikely character on that list is going to be it's going to be Claret, because I don't think Claret is going to be absolutely top tier. So she's going to be my last option. And the other ones will be, so effectively, I think the choice truly is down to Hiei or Gizarov to raise up to 6 stars. And right now I'm leaning towards Hiei. So that's because the time of grinding is very similar, right? Gizroff needs 80 days, Hiei needs 95, you know. The 20-day difference, given the long time frame, is not a huge difference. Diharto needs 130 shards, and technically, if I grind 4 shards of him per day, it'll only require 33 days. But realistically, I'm not going to be grinding 4 shards of him. So it'll actually be 130 shards at 3 shards a day, which is still, what, 43 days, right? So 43 days is still pretty much the exact same as everyone else, which means I'd rather just choose the top character, like the best character to level up, as opposed to characters who are closer to completion. The only way this will likely change is if I get, let's say, another copy of Diharto, like an off-banner Diharto or an off-banner Angelina, then I'll probably grind them up first, right? So in some ways, the last character I grind will depend on if I get any off-banners while drawing for Deedlit. But if I just get Deedlit like in 10 draws or whatever, that's it. Forget it. And what you see here is roughly what I'm going to be doing for the next month. Grinding up just whatever 3 characters I finally selected and getting them all up to 6 stars. The interesting thing about this is the next banner, the next major update is going to be on not April. It's going to be on June the 11th, right? So the week after this one that's listed here. And the week after this one is listed, I'm going to finish up Yusuke, right? So Yusuke will be complete, which then opens up grinding up the new characters that come with that major update, which is Maya and Ares. And my hope is to get Ares and grind him up to, 5 or 6 stars as soon as I get him. So, and that will be perfectly timed for Yusuke. So I will be grinding up Deedlit and the other character that I haven't really finalized on, but then I'll be set up to start the new character, Ares, as soon as I get him. So this is just perfectly planned for the next 2 months, really, May and June. I just have to decide on which character is being grinded as the 3rd selection. Alright, so with that mentioned, let's jump into the game now. So, in terms of, let's see, money spent, still nothing, right? My renewal of the privileges is coming up for next week, but I'm probably going to abandon renewing Clock of Forgiveness because I don't use it, right? I purchased it when I needed to do the Ancient Beckoning battles, but I'm not doing Ancient Beckoning anymore. So maybe I'll renew it for the month where I decide to update my Ancient Beckoning scores, but other than that, I'm just going to cancel that purchase. There's no point in keeping this up when I absolutely do not use it at all. So it's literally a waste of money right now. So I'm going to stop purchasing the Clock of Forgiveness. I've canceled that. I'm probably going to continue with Flag of Courage because that extra goddess run is quite important, I'm finding. As for Gift of Goddess, I mean, this one's kind of... It's kind of a up to you kind of option, okay? Because it gives you... Effectively, what Gift of the Goddess gives you is 1,800 crystals for around $5. So 1,800 crystals per month is equal to around, what, 20 something draws? What, 1,800 divided by 88 is around 20. Yeah, so that's 20 vouchers. You know. So paying $8 for 20 additional draws on banners and whatnot, kind of up to you. I might as well just keep it up because I'm still playing the game. And it's very reasonably priced for 20 draws. But in a lot of ways, you can choose to give up the Gift of the Goddess too. So the only privilege that you truly need to spend on, honestly speaking, is the Flag of Courage. Alright, but moving on. So, in terms of the event, Trails in Time, as planned, I've pretty much fully grinded the event. The only thing I have to grind left is actually the light bulbs. And I'm just waiting for a good day to grind the light bulbs, right? The first 2 pages, I've already gotten everything that I wanted. I'm skipping the rare Aniki workout materials, the SR Aniki workout materials, and the Royal Guardian skin because I already have it. So there's no reason to trade for a skin that I already have. Right? So that's why I'm skipping those things. But for the light bulbs, for Memories in the Sky, I'm actually just waiting for a better map to grind, because the level 55 map, it really depends on what enemies you face. For example, jumping into it quickly, this map is very annoying because you're going to end up using Leaden with, let's say, Egbert and Bozil or whatever, right? And there's enemies in the north, enemies in the south, right? So it's totally random what enemies appear, and the ideal is to have as many, let's say, flyer characters as possible without any cuttlefish or leviathans. You know, because those would slow down the battle. So I'm just waiting for hopefully a good day where there's just flyers and lobster behemoths, and then I'm just going to clear it that day. As a side note, for me personally, that actually happened on Saturday, and I was stupid. I didn't finish the whole grind that day, so now I have to wait for another good day. So fingers crossed that it happens sometime this week, and then I'll just finish up the whole event. I think I need to grind that battle like 15 times or so it's actually not too long. I could, you know, if a good day doesn't come up, I could do it on a day where there's crappy enemies, but, you know, the faster I can get the grind with finished, the better, long story short. Alright, so shard farming I've already talked about, right? Shafaniel just needs 2 more days of farming. Waller needs 2 more days of farming. Yusuke is a long way away, but I'll be doing Yusuke and 2 other characters starting this week. And I'll update about that soon. So with that, I'm going to move into the gambles for this week. So let's get my gambling done. Weapon, Throne Guardian, garbage. Broken Star, garbage. Purgatory, garbage. Armor, Bloodline Magic Armor, don't need it. Death's Robe, don't need it. Mirror Armor, don't need it. And the helmets, I'm going to hold off on. Actually, no, I'm going to do them now. Actually, Twilight Helmet, Reaper's Breath, Assault Headgear. So everything this week was basically garbage, but I will keep the Bloodline Magic Armor just because I can use it to feed into another one. Right? I can now get one to level 50. So, but I'm gonna ore back everything. So let's see. So Reaper's Breath, Purgatory, right? Very disappointing SSRs this week, but that's usually the case. Death's Robe. Assault Headgear, Twilight Helmet, Broken Star, Throne Guardian. That's 7. What am I missing? There should be one more. Huh. That's weird. One armor. Oh, is it the mirror armor? Yeah, should be the mirror armor. I'm actually not sure if I have a mirror armor that I need to upgrade. So let's just ore the 7 first. And figure out the mirror armor after. So if I have a mirror armor to upgrade, it would probably be on Freya. Nope, she has the Cloak of Defiance. Okay, let's just select anyone. Click on change and take a look. So no, I currently have 3 level 50 mirror armors. I probably don't need another one, so I'm just gonna ore this one as well. Alright, so that gives me 800 ore back, which is pretty good. And it puts me at 1435 ore, which I'm probably going to use to purchase either Epic Martial Spirits or Rare Enchant gift packs this week in preparation for Apex Arena. Right. Still upgrading Enchants as always, so... And the Rare Epic Martial Spirits will be for finalizing some gear for my characters. You know, for example, I may end up using certain characters like the Hartol, you know, need to upgrade his Fury of Tier. I may end up using Deedlit if I actually draw multiple copies of her, and if I get multiple copies of her, I'm going to have to finalize her gear, which I think is the Gift of Eternal Life, level 50. So there's a whole bunch of... Yeah. I currently have Deedlit set of gear on Betty, so you can see that it's pretty much fully built. Just need 3 Epic Martial Spirits to upgrade the Gift of Eternal Life. And yeah, in terms of the SSRs I'm continuing to try to get, it's really just reduced to a few. Okay. Weapon wise, I really do want a second Uller's Bow and a Mimir's War Axe. Armor wise, just more Lacerates, that's really it. You know, the more of them I have, the better. Of course, I could also use another Aeolus' battle armor. I could also use more Tenyos robes, but those are lower priority. Headgear wise, it's just more Tenyos headdresses. I think I actually have enough King's Crowns now. I could use a second Soul Stealer headdress as well, but that's pretty much it. And then I'm also looking to get ready to get those Witch's Dreams. And then accessory wise, continues to remain one or two more Swordsmith medals, one pair of Apex boots, and then 1 Juggler plushie. Still hunting for those items. Just not having any luck in getting them, unfortunately. Alright. So, oh, side note. I just saw that I now have 68 vouchers rather than 67. So it increased by 1. And I think that extra 1 was because I went into the store and did my weekly Trinity voucher purchase there. So there we go. Alright, and in terms of the memory shards, well, because I did that 10 gamble on the Rene Leonhard banner, I actually do have some memory shards to trade in. So you can see here I can actually extract 40, 20, 20, 20. Oh! Did I do 2 summons? I might have done 20 summons rather than 10. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm going to extract that. I got 1105 more memory essence. So we'll see. Once again, I can use it to buy another runestone if I need it, but I'm currently sitting on 6. I can use it to buy SSR accessories. But I will decide this week, right, for Apex Arena. Because it really will be either the accessory or the... Yeah, it's really deciding on whether to purchase 2 accessories in hopes of getting Apex boots or Swordsmith medal or whatever. Right? So I'll probably do that later this week. The SSR accessory purchase. And other than that, Apex Arena. Well, it's pretty much over. And I ended up with 1934 points. And that is enough to put me in the top 256. So I'm in the playoffs. Hooray! Well, pretty much expected. Like, I basically just played 1 battle this week. Won that single battle. And... and then I said, awesome, I am done. I will just stop. And the interesting thing though was on Saturday, I was actually ranked 102. Okay. So what that means is 43 players went above my score on Saturday and Sunday. So clearly there were a whole bunch of players who really wanted to get into the Apex playoffs and played a few matches to get themselves into the top 256. But there we have it, you know. It'll be an interesting playoffs, but we'll see who I get matched up against, right? It's really going to depend on who I get matched up against. You know, if I face against, you know, Royally, Method, you know, characters, Zelda, basically players who have fully maxed out training grounds, I'm going to be in serious trouble. But we'll see. And other than that, in terms of gear and enchant changes, I'm not really going to go over that, but I have been using up a lot of scrolls. I also have a lot of scrolls built up to finalize some equipment for my party members. And the reason for finalizing, and I'm finalizing, which I'll do later this week, is because the Apex playoffs actually allows you to deploy a sideboard of characters, backup characters. So I'm basically, it's not just the 15 that you see here. You can also have backup characters that you can swap in and out as required. So I'm kind of figuring those characters out right now, and that's why I'm going to be using up my enchant scrolls very, very soon. Right. So it might be that I will give Leon, for example, a balanced blade to make him potentially useful as a sideboard character. You know, there's a whole bunch of characters that I can place on the sideboard. You know, like Bernhard, like Die Hartel, Leonhard, and so on. So we'll figure that out, right? Now, what's next? So, other things that I'm looking into adjusting would be the training grounds, and the training grounds I'm actually going to have to do a bit more upgrades on this week, because I do have a whole bunch of burgers saved up, 11 of them, and I'm going to have to probably use them all up to probably get a few more upgrades here and there. 11 burgers is 33 more runs, pretty much, right? And 33 runs, I could probably get like another, let's say, attack upgrade on either the Flyer training ground or on the Holy and Demon training ground. So yeah, I'll have to pick a day to finish grinding up my remaining burgers to more or less finish the event, or to more or less have what is my final training ground for the playoffs. It'll have a decent amount of attack increase at the very least for my critical training grounds, although the Lancer and infantry ones will probably suffer a bit. Okay, and the other thing about that is the Trails in Time, the third page, also gives you around 15, you can get more SSR Anarchy items. So I'm going to get, I think there's 3 of them for 15 items in total, and that will get me a few more upgrades as well. And yeah, so at this point, and then last but not least would be the SR status, where Olivier will be finished very shortly. I just need to wait for that third day, or the third section to be unlocked, and I can finish up Olivier. And then any extra shards I get can be turned into more memory essence, right? So that will be converted into a bit more memory essence, allowing me to definitely get those 2 SSR accessories that I plan to purchase, hoping to get a good one. And then, yeah, that pretty much sets me up for the playoffs. You know, I'll just try to go as far as I can. You know, if I get really far, amazing. If I just lose in the top 256, well, at least I get the top 256 rewards, which would be what, 2,000 crystals, and that would be the main thing for me, anyways. So you know, the further up you go, the better the rewards. But realistically, I figure that only if I get extremely lucky will I get into like the top 32 or top 16. You know, the expected knockout point for me would be probably either the top 256, top 128, or top 64. And there we have it. So that's my current status. Yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. Nitro out.